So, this week we are playing EarthBound
We are playing
Beginnings.
EarthBound Beginnings, yes, on the Nintendo Switch Online service because Nintendo just kind of dropped this bomb during the last Nintendo Direct, which was really just a few days ago at the time of this stream. They're like, oh yeah, we're going to put EarthBound and EarthBound Beginnings on the Nintendo Switch Online, essentially, their version of the Virtual Console. And I was not anticipating that. So originally, EarthBound Beginnings was only, at least in America, was only released on Wii U.
Oh, did it come out in the Wii U?
Came out on Wii U. Then when Nintendo dropped it on Wii U, we're from MyGamer.com, by the way. You can follow me on Twitter at ZachGaz, ZACKGAZ. And when Nintendo first dropped this on Wii U, it came out of nowhere. Like, Nintendo did not hype it up and say, like, yeah, EarthBound Beginnings is going to be released on the Wii U shop on this day. They're like, nope, it's like day one. Here it is, like, surprise. So everybody kind of freaked out. And speaking of the Wii U, I don't know if you saw this, but yesterday Nintendo announced that they are shutting down the Wii U and the 3DS eShop in March of 2023. So we have about a year and a month away. They didn't give an exact day in March.
I thought it was already closed.
Nope, it's still alive and kicking. So they're giving everybody a year to buy whatever they might want to buy on those systems, but they are shutting it down completely. So I'm assuming that they didn't say like they did not specifically say like online play. Well, like, can you play Mario Kart 7 online? Like, I'm gonna guess
No, it's Mario Kart 8 on Wii U.
No, Mario. Oh, I'm sorry. Mario Kart on 3DS. I'm talking about. Yes.
The 3DS has been offline for a while, hasn't it?
No. No, it's been. They have not shut the 3D. The 3DS is still alive and kicking. There's nothing wrong with that. So they just said you will not be able to purchase games from the eShop, but they did not say if online functionality of games will be shut off. I'm going to assume that that's also going to be a yes. So you can't play like Mario Kart 7 on 3DS online, for example.
Okay.
But that's to be determined. But anyway, yeah, they are shutting down the eShop. They're just going Switch only. And so at the time, yeah, the EarthBound Beginnings here, that was the only place to, legally buy EarthBound Beginnings was on Wii. I think it was like, it might have been one of those games because it was EarthBound, maybe it was like a $10 game versus like the $5, $7 game. But yeah, EarthBound Beginnings, if you've never played even the original EarthBound, this is, it's a late NES game, but it's very grindy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and it's very slow. It's a slower paced RPG. It's also really hard.
Well, RPGs of the time were difficult.
Yeah, the problem, I feel like everybody's always like, yeah, EarthBound, it's such a great game. It's definitely of a higher quality, but you got to remember that its difficulty was very high. The EarthBound had a system. Well, one, they have a limited inventory system, and half of the inventory is the items that you need to carry, your armor, essentially, your weapons, and then like you can only carry, like a couple items that actually like refill your health. And EarthBound always has a system where even if you grind, the enemies are always going to be within a certain level of you. So you can grind as much as you want. It doesn't really matter. The AI will always be in check, other than like very common kind of enemies, but like bosses are always going to be a challenge no matter how much you grind.
The fact that that you have to go up to everything and check.
Yes, check, talk.
Yep.
Yep.
There was bread. Lucas got bread.
Yeah, so in EarthBound Beginnings, We just changed all the names, by the way, but technically you play as Ninten, and that's why in the sequel on with Earthbound Mother 2 on Super Nintendo, you play as Ness. And Lucas was in Mother 3, the Game Boy Advance game that America never got that is always complaining about.
Yep, that's right. It was Ness in this one. I named him Lucas.
Yeah, it was
I thought that was.
Yeah,
So I've beaten Earthbound twice, I think, and Earthbound 3. So Mother 3, I played through. The only legitimate way to do it was with a ROM. So, but I got through like half of it, and then there was like a crashing issue with my ROM. So
yeah, I never play. Yeah, I never. Yeah, there's the very famous fan translation. You could even buy repo carts with the fan translation on it. But I've never gone that route.
That's a great way to get sued.
I've always held out hope that one day, like everybody else, it'll be released somehow, some way. Like I don't think Nintendo is going to release it on Nintendo Switch Online because it's a Game Boy Advance game, and Game Boy Advance games are not a part of Switch Online. So if they, see your dinner, if they ever release it like this Switch
when you want
generation,
to eat ass again, just come back here.
When I played Earthbound, it was Burger because I was 10 years old or whatever when it came out, and I was like, but like, the text was always like, instead of like, oh, have a enjoy a cheeseburger or burger, it was like go upstairs and eat burger, like not a burger. So it was always kind of funny.
Yeah, I think I did steak the first time I played it,
and
then after
I was like,
that,
that's not funny enough.
Yeah, no, our guy likes to eat ass apparently. Yeah, a lot of this is very similar. The fighting style and everything like that is very similar to. I guess technically it's Mother 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So that you can definitely see this is Earthbound, just almost like a little bit of a demake.
Holy shit!
Yeah. Like you're gonna get killed, so you're gonna have to walk back after you fight this bad. It's like the original Dragon Quest, or Dragon Warrior, as it was known here. Like you start the game, you get your bamboo stick, you only can fight one slime, and then you got to go back to the inn and sleep, and then you fight one more slime, you get one level up, but you still got to go back to the inn and sleep. So it's like you just grind. See, look at that. You took 2 steps. There might have been 1 step.
I think
you're not gonna make it back to the town. I don't even know if you have PSI abilities yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, so you just got to whack them with your bat. And see, smash. You get the smash attack.
Great.
Oh, so one more hit. You got to hope you kill him here. Oh, you got lucky with the smash. Was it just enough? All right, so you got to try and hope to God that you do not get a random battle. Because you're not going to survive it.
Holy shit.
Just okay, so now you got to go and sleep and eat your ass. So this is what you have to do for 30 minutes, and you got to get 2 or 3 levels up.
I honestly did not think it was this bad.
It's this bad, and a lot of nobody talks about it. Like you can only, like, you got lucky that you survived 2 battles there. It was something, oftentimes it's 1. So you still got to go back. You got to go outside. You got to do the exact same thing.
I'm sure that's one of those things that it's gonna have to use it later. Dude, holy shit.
Yeah. So it's and then you could call your dad on the phone.
This is it's a lot slower than the SNES one.
For sure, yeah, it's a Nintendo game, absolutely. And that's what's also unique about EarthBound is you just don't get your gold right away. You still get gold for every enemy you kill, but then you talk to your dad and he's the one who deposits it into your account.
Yep.
So it's not like you just you kill a guy and you get it right away and then you can go to the shop immediately. No, you got to go find a phone, have your dad put the money in the account.
Lucas is out. And now I'm not getting any fucking encounters.
Yeah, there might not be any encounters like right in front of the house. Like you might have to go to the right. Yeah, like past these, like right around here is where. Yep. See, there you go.
Oh, a snake. Something that might actually be fucking deadly.
That's not a hippie. I mean, that's the thing with EarthBound is you're fighting guys. You're in the real world. Like you're in like a cartoony version of America or something.
Yes, that's what it is.
But it's not. It's not like you're fighting dragons and slimes and knights and here's a snake and you fight a hippie.
So, the guy who wrote the EarthBound scenarios, it's supposed to be like he described it as he being nostalgic for a place he's never been.
Plus, it was made by a Japanese dude who just thinks all Americans are white kids that wear red hats and a striped shirt and a backpack because they go to school.
When he wrote this, he was like, "Oh, this is America in the 50s or 60s."
Whatever, right?
Being nostalgic for time that never was for him.
I think that's why EarthBound stood out even when it was released on Super Nintendo, because here's this kind of like quote unquote modern day RPG. It's not a fantasy situation, it's not a post-apocalyptic situation. You're just fighting bugs and then hippies and then weird cult members, things like that.
Yeah, there was Robotrek on the Super Nintendo, which was a space robot RPG.
But still, space robots versus houses in a suburb.
I think the closest we ever got was probably Chrono, and even that has so many themes.
Yeah, there's so many eras in that game for sure. But yeah, I think it stood out for in a sea of RPGs with swords and monsters. There's baseball bats and kids. Mm-hmm. It's almost like a Peanuts, like a Snoopy, Charlie Brown. Like this looks like a Snoopy, like a Charlie Brown game or something.
So this was fully translated back in the day.
Yeah, I think the story goes, Nintendo kind of just was like, the Super Nintendo was out or it's just about to come out. So to release a big game, a big original Nintendo RPG.
Because even though the work put into it was... So I guess the way that everyone was able to tell that the ROM that leaked, I think in the 90s, like the original ROM that leaked, was the official Nintendo one, was because there was certain censorship. Like, I guess this crow in the Japanese version has a cigarette. And in the ROM that leaked, the translated ROM, it did not. So all of the censorship that was supposed to be there was there. So it was just kind of clear that it was the official Nintendo ROM that had leaked. But,
it's not the first time Nintendo's done. I mean, just look at Star Fox 2. That's the best example. Here's a game that was done, fully translated, ready to go, and then they just we're not going to do this.
That didn't even need to be translated. I think that was already like in English and would have had to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It was already done. Yeah, for sure.
There
was
was like
done.
a handful of other things that just needed to be finished. But
so here's your level up, by the way. So this is like exactly what you need. Every single point of extra health point, extra strength point and stuff, like it matters a lot.
And now we learned life up, so
right now we can actually.
I think I can heal myself twice now.
Yeah, so I would say you grind at least one more level. You go back to sleep so you're fully charged. You have just enough health and psychic power to heal yourself to make it to the next town. Like, this is what you got to do.
Yeah, and
everywhere you go.
I guess, like, from what I've heard too, is it'll be like you'll be getting the shit beat out of you, and you'll have to grind and grind and grind, and then all of a sudden the enemies will become extremely difficult again, and that's around the time that you get a new weapon. But then you also have to grind.
But then you got to grind again because you need those 2 to 3 levels up, so you can kill a guy with in 2 hits versus 3 or 4 hits, so you have enough health to keep going.
The thing that I always liked about the EarthBound on the Super Nintendo was that enemies would run away from you if you were overleveled.
Yeah, that correct. And then because you saw, like, here they're just invisible. Here's a battle. Yeah, the EarthBound version, you saw the enemies on the screen, and then actually if you ran into them when you were facing one, they would run away from you if you were really overpowered, and then 2, if you ran into their back, if where they weren't looking, then you would be able to get the first shot at them.
Yeah, and I think you could instantly kill them if you went up to ones that you're way over leveled.
Yes,
it would
correct.
Just instantly, it would start the battle transition and then just say you won.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of games, a lot of RPGs like don't do that. Like that was a system that worked. So why nobody has really fully adopted that since. I'm sure there's been games, I can't really think of any, but I thought it was a thoughtful system. I guess now today, if you play like a lot of like Final Fantasy 7 through 8 remaster, there's like the built-in fast forward button, so it's like you don't really need a feature like that, because it's like there's cheating ways around it with these remastered versions. But back in the day, that was a handy, great, helpful, thoughtful feature.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, this is what you got to do if you're playing EarthBound Beginnings. It's not that I wouldn't call it, I guess, bad. It's just you got to have patience. You got to have a bunch of time, and it is grindy. You kind of have to know what you're kind of getting into, I think, if you're trying to play this game today here in 2022. This is in the early to mid. Yeah, I guess it would have been like earlier 90s when this game was done, at least in Japan.
Yeah. All right, sir. So
yeah, this is EarthBound Beginnings. Go check it out on the Nintendo Switch Online. The EarthBound, the Super Nintendo sequel, is also on Switch Online, which is $20 a year for that subscription. So not a lot of money. Go check it out. Nintendo adds like 1 or 2 games every month or 2 on that service. But yeah, we are from a website called MyGamer.com. Go there, put us in your favorites. We post news, reviews, streams, previews, everything, every single week, if not almost every day. Go there, put us in your favorites, check us out. And you can follow me on Twitter at ZachGaz, ZACKGAZ. And until next time, thank you for watching, and game on.